Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Good day and welcome back to my channel. So, oops. I know that I said I was going to come back when I was putting the hips together to put the base on, but then as it turns out, by the time I got to that point, I was pretty much done. So I just went ahead and finished off the last little bits of detail, and now here I am. I did not expect to be done quite so quickly, but it seems like when I get to a certain point in a project, that kind of always happens. I get to where, I think I've still got lots and lots and lots to do, and then it just sort of falls together, and I hit that, oh, well, I'm done stage. And that's kind of what happened here. So this is the completed 160 scale Catapult BattleMech from BattleTech. This is a FCY resin cast kit. It is really, really incredible. And this is kind of why I oopsed and got this done so quickly, is the engineering of this is just so. The legs, the hip, the center torso, and the arms can all be pretty much fully weathered in their own individual parts. As it is right now, I mean, even so, the torso is just resting on there, so that it can turn, and I'm actually not sure how I'm going to be transporting it, so that's why it's not glued. I'm also not sure what the right orientation is. I hate straight up. I think off at an angle gives more interest and more dynamicism. It makes it look more dynamic, and tells a better story. And that's kind of the route I'm going with this, with what I have here. So what I ended up doing was I did a little more pigments of mud and caked in dried mud near the feet, where they get scuffed up. I let it look rusty-ish. So like there is a layer of oxide over the top, just because the feet are going to get abused, right? The feet of the BattleMech are constantly being used. The other thing I went for with this was used. The thing about BattleTech and the universe is that the BattleMech, so your weapons of war, are centuries old. They have they're constantly returned. The capability to build new ones is lost, so it's only just being rediscovered. So a BattleMech like a Catapult would be 200 or 300 years old and has been in various battles throughout that period of time. So it's going to be constantly repaired, reused. It's going to have a wear and worn look to it. I intentionally took this one as a mercenary look. It's kept up because you have to keep them up or the things fall apart, but it's also what's kept up is the important part. It's clean-ish, but it's not so it's not like all chipped to heck. We don't have panels falling off. We do have a new panel that we haven't painted yet. I did that there. So the idea of this is to tell a story and sort of stay in character. I did put the pilot down in there, and she's just sort of surveying where she's going to go. I was actually really happy with the way they came out, and I'll have a picture of her also in the here at the end. So that was the goal. The pigments got away from me just a little bit. There's a little more to them than I had in my vision at first, but I like where it went. But it was a good practice for me to do that, right? On the back here, I intentionally did this like a tank exhaust, right? So like a World War II tank exhaust, where the heat of that just baked off all the paint in day one, and it has that sheen of oxidation. So my view is that's where your nuclear reactor is for the BattleMech, and that's where it's the primary heat exchanger is going to be, near these two things. So it's going to get hot. It's going to do that. And that's kind of where I took it. I don't like the look. So the also did the exhaust from the missile pods. So, the missiles are encased. So I figure in those are missile redirect or missile exhaust redirect, so that they don't fill up the front view of the pilot. So they spread, I intentionally did, the exhaust scarring, sooting or whatever word you want to use it, on the doors, because the doors would be open. Now, the other thing is those doors are currently sitting in a place where they can be displayed open or closed. And again, the nice thing about the way this one's designed is it can be, these doors don't have to be glued in place. They can just sit, and that's the way I'm leaving it for the viewing of the things, is to do that. So they can just be seen as there. I do have chipping all through there, so there's a good bit of chipping on this thing. Yeah, anyway, that's sort of what I've gotten done. I did do lenses down here. I know I said orange, but I went with blue just because I didn't like the orange against the orange. Orange looks hot, right? And to me, that would be something that was actually active, whereas in this case, it's not. So this is, the finished detail. Like I said, I'm trying to tell a story with this one, and it was a great experience. It's given me an idea. I did do the jeweling on the cockpit. I'm still not a huge fan of those. Normally, on this scale, if you have a window that big, I'm going to actually build the cockpit inside. I just didn't have the materials I needed to do that, to do this one, so I did not. So I did the jeweling, and then I art coated it. Did the same thing with the lenses on the medium lasers. I jeweled them, and then I art coated them to give them that reflective look. So yeah, that's kind of where I went with it. That's sort of the story I'm telling with it, and hopefully the person that I'm going to gift this to actually likes it. With that said, I will go ahead. I will put some pictures here that I've taken of this. Unfortunately, the pictures are, as you can see, this is more of a vertical display than a horizontal, so it doesn't necessarily translate well to the horizontal view of YouTube, but it is what it is. I hope that this little experience or this little series was useful or helpful or at least enjoyable. This is, again, a 160 scale BattleMech from FCY. These are resin cast kits, and I have a few more to do. A few being a lot, but I really, really love this kit. I love the workmanship. Like I said, the design of the engineering, the kit itself. I could just build the thing in pieces and then put it all together. That's kind of how it came. So please enjoy the pictures. If you have comments, queries, questions, please feel free to put them below. I thank everybody for watching, and until next time, happy modeling.
Reactor online. Sensors online. Weapons online.